Now let's work on the face. That's a little bit more complicated. Now, is that nice and clear or is it blurry? Don't want it to be blurry. Looks clear there now. Okay, so let's get out our small brush, our small round. I think it'd be easier to work with. We'll find out now, won't we? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some black and I'm going to add a little bit of white to it, or your underpainting color with the blues and the browns. And I'm going to, let's just mix up something like a grayish color, maybe a little bit of brown. Play with your colors. It's fun to mix your colors, see what comes out. Let's go with that color for now. And what we'll do is we will put some of that color underneath the eye. Just go straight across. Boom, like that. And then up here, try to make like a triangle. If you got your drawing, just follow. If you lost your triangle, then we'll just paint it back in. Alright, so we'll just try to get that triangle shape. I probably don't have enough paint. There we go. Triangle shape. Oh, he looks a little angry. We don't want him to be angry. So let's bring that into the eye. There we go. Like I said, look on pictures of Puffin so you'll know where everything goes. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to wet your brush. Wet your brush and don't put any more paint on it. Just wet it and tap it off in your tissue. And whatever's left over on your brush, bring this little shadow here back. Bring it back here. There's only water. See, I got too much water on it, so just make sure there's not too much water on there. And go back. And if you need more paint, just go get some more paint, a bit of that grayish color paint. Tap it off in your tissue. We don't want too much. We want it to be watery. I'm sorry, transparent, we'll say. Just so we can get that little shadow there. It's coming along, coming along. Okay, maybe we can put some more white back over here. Fix it up. A little bit of white. Just a few strokes. Clean up that area. Good. Good, good, good. Now what you're going to do is put some more yellow on your brush. Let's keep using the same brush. It seems to be working for us. A bit more yellow, a little bit of red just to orange it up a bit. Put another coat on here. Good. Now let's put some yellow down here so we can line off the beak here. Straighten this up here. And what we're going to do with that, because it's so crooked looking, we're going to go in, get our other brush, our flat brush that we used, and this one here, chiseled edge flat brush. Can you see it? Oh, there you are. There you are. And then take some black and a little bit of white to make a grayish color. And then we'll straighten up our lines here by putting the black back, but it's a little bit gray now. So you thin that line up, it's a bit too thick. And thin it up there a bit. Good. And then underneath here. Down and thin out that line a bit. And that makes more sense. See, it has to make sense. So it's not too bad. Not too bad. Good. So now, let's take our liner brush again. and add a little tiny bit of white to some of that yellow. Just lay some on top of there just to give it a highlight. Now what we're going to do is we're going to separate this beak with some black, that grayish color we'll say, with the liner brush. Have a steady hand. Here goes nothing. A little line here. Oh, not enough paint. Get more paint if you need it. Hope for the best. Here we go. Come on. Oh, it doesn't want to come off. Alright, I'm going to add some water. I'm going to tap it off in my tissue. A bit more paint. And I'm going to try again. Now let's give it another shot. Alright, so let's get this going. There we go, we separated the beak. Good. Now let's straighten up that beak. Let's go back to that little flat brush again. This one here, I like this one. Alright. So let's go and put some orangey color back on the beak. Orangey color. Let's see. Now, if you can't get the right orange, because sometimes the reds and oranges, yellows that you get, they won't make a really nice orange. They make almost pink color. Just get a bottle of, or there might be some extra color left on your brush that won't let it go orange. So all you have to do then is just go buy an orange paint that's already pre-mixed for you. Okay, let's do this. Let's straighten this beak up. Let's fix up the shape of the beak. Good. Bring it out a little bit here on the nose. A little bit out. Just have to be careful. You have to look at your... Let's go back and get some red because that's a bit orangey. And put some of the red on there. There we go. Go over your line so you can see it. Oh, my hand. My hand is shaking. Okay, so, oh my. Frustrating sometimes, isn't it? And underneath here, it's probably a little bit darker under there. Now, I gotta get that beak right. He looks like, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but the beak is kind of strange looking, isn't it? Let's go with a dark, get the black with a little bit of brown and some white. I'm just mixing some dark colors here for now. And I'm going to try to straighten up that beak a little bit. If I don't get it this time, we'll move on and I'll do it after. But you guys might do better than me, because you can take your time. I'm trying to do a video, and I get in an awkward position sometimes, and it's kind of, but that's okay. I'm still having fun. That's all, I just want to have some fun. So I'm just going to bring some of these shades down here just to get a shadow. And then I'm going to put some yellow on my brush. Put a little yellow streak here. Go with the shape of the beak and here. Now you don't have to be so precise. You can also make it your own way. Just put the colors on, have some fun. Almost have it any way that you want to paint it, okay? Now, we'll come back to that again after. Alright? So what I'll do is, I'll bring back. So as you can see, there's still more work to be done. So what we'll do is, we will look at the whole puffin. And what we'll do is we'll dry brush some paint on the back of here. Now what you're going to need this time is a bristle brush. A stiff bristle brush. Sorry about that. Now what you need to do is just clean off make sure your brush is nice and clean, and get some white paint with add a little bit of blue to it. A little bit of blue just to tone down the white. Alright, so you just tone down the white with some blue. You don't want to, you can do it with gray if you want to rather have a grayish tone to it. And you got paint on there, and it's a lot of paint. You don't want too much paint on there, so just wipe it off in your tissue. Just wipe it off. And then this is dry brushing, so you want to make sure. Let's put a little bit of highlight on the top of the head just by touching it, barely touching it. Okay? And then probably a little bit up here, but not all the way down, just a little bit there. Skip over, and then come down on the back and dry brush. Come down a little bit more, skip over a part and come down a little bit more. Good. And then you come down, skip over it again and dry brush it on again down here. And down here and over the tails. And we'll do more work with that after. It's just getting it started. That'll bring it out a little bit up here on the neck. And that'll just give you some illusion of the feathers shining. But it's not all done yet. That's just getting it started, okay? So, hopefully you can see that, because I'll just do a little bit more and probably a little bit brighter for you so you can see it, okay? So just dry brushing it on. That's a bit too bright for me, but in reality, but maybe for the video I'll have to lighten it up. Okay, there we go. Just scraping it on. Sometimes I turn my brush. You know, I got the brush this way, and sometimes I'll flip it this way, okay? So, dry brushing. Good. Now, marvelous. Just coming along. It's coming along. Now we'll play with the feet, and then we'll do a few more things and bring it to life. Now, let's clean up those feet a little bit. Let's put some toenails in there. Let's just put a bit of brown and black together and put a toenail in there. There we go. That's one there and there. Now he got webbed feet, so he's got them all closed up there, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And then we're going to take our, that was with the liner brush, we're going to take our flat brush and we're going to clean up the feet there. Let's put some red back on here because there's too much yellow. Good. Just straighten up what you need to straighten up. And in between here, so we get a darker shadow, so it separates the feet there. Good. There we go. Get rid of that a little bit just by putting a highlight on it. I'll come back to that after. So, there we go. And you could also add a little bit of white to your brush. I didn't even clean it, I just put a bit of white on there. And I'm just going to lighten up that edge there a little bit. Just a little bit. Pulling in a little bit in towards your orange. A little bit of highlight there on that, and a little bit of highlight here. And a little bit here. That just brings it out a little bit more. And back to your liner brush, your round. Let's put a little bit of yellow around the eye, around the circle that you made. Just put a little bit of yellow around there. Make a circle around the circle on the outside. Good. And if you made it too big, just put some black back in there. Let's straighten it up. Like I say, this is a back and forth, back and forth. Painting is back and forth till you get what you need. Alright. And down, go back to your flat brush again. Small flat brush. Put a bit of black on your brush, a bit of gray color. And then you're going to put a little bit of a shadow down here. I'll have them describe to you what names of the parts are. But when you look at the picture, you'll be able to see where everything goes. I'm just adding a little bit of shadow underneath here. And then I'm going to add some more black to my brush and bring this down here, fill it in a little bit more, just to straighten things up. There we go. Straighten it up. So these little tiny details you can work on when you look at your picture, because I won't be able to get them all in. But you look at the picture of a real puffin, okay? And when you do that, you'll be able to put in all the smaller details. I might be able to come back and do some smaller details. Like I say, it could take many videos, many hours of going over and over little tiny details that you probably could figure out yourself. Alright, so let's go with this. Just put a little more red back in there just to clean up those edges there. A little bit underneath here. Good. Just pulling them around. And if I lose too much of my yellow, I'll put some back in. Just watch. So if you lose it, let's put it back in. Put a bit of highlight at the top there so it brightens it up. A little bit here, a little bit there. So I would say probably put a little bit more yellow on top of the beak here just to brighten it up. The sun might be shining on this guy. This guy or this gal, not sure. Not sure. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put, so the background could be a sky, and it can also be, he could be sitting on some kind of grassy area. So get out your big bristle brush, okay? Get out a big bristle brush, get some green paint. Get some green paint, and put some green paint on your palette. So we'll have something to work with. And then we're going to add something that little guy is sitting on. It could be sitting on a rock. You know, whatever you want down there is up to you. So just take some green paint. Good. Green paint, and add a little bit of blue to it to tone it down. A little bit of red. Tone it down so it's not too green right now. And put that underneath. Just put some grass right here. Tap, 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 tap. See? That a pretty color? Now don't go over the area. Once you tap it on, don't go back over the same area again, because you'll lose all. It'll only end up going into one color. So you tap into green, tap into blue, tap into some red, till you get the three colors, but they're not totally blended. And then you just go right underneath this guy and move around. And you can come up as high as you want. So it looks like it's on the grass. Good. See how you're getting different colors of green? So I'm adding more blue and red just to give it some different tones. And some shadows. And some values. Good. This little guy is sitting on some grass. Good. Let's go back and get some more paint. And there we go. So now you got your grassy area. And you can even come up a little bit more. And we'll highlight that in a little while. So, there we go. So that's grass. You can pull up some grasses if you like this. And then, if you want to make that look like a sky behind you, a smaller brush, it can be a bristle, and get some white paint and some blue paint. mostly white, just the blues for a little bit of shadow. Okay, so let's get a bit of shadow color with adding a little bit of blue to your paint. So you got some white. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to take that brush and just gently touch. Get a few little clouds, if you want the clouds. Okay, just gently touch. Barely touch the canvas. Just give you those soft floating clouds in the background. Just some soft floating clouds. Tap a little bit. There we go. Barely touch your canvas and just play with the way you want them. Just floating around up in the sky. Down here. Just take your brush, whatever's left over on your brush, and scrape it on there as if there's some clouds floating around back in the sky. It's floating clouds. There we go. Good, just a few clouds and whatever else you want. If you want to put hills back there, you can certainly do that too. So I'm just going to lighten up that grass. Go back and get your big old brush that you use to put your grass on. Bristle. Dry it off. And put some yellow and green together. Tap into some yellow and green. And take that for a highlight. So maybe we can put a few highlights over here. And just touch, touch, touch. Just a little touch of yellow on top of your green there. And what we'll do is we'll bring some green in here around the feet area and pull up some grass around the feet area. Just tap on a little bit of highlight so that your grass looks like it's brighter. Maybe the sun is shining over here. When you do that, you can pull up a few of these nice yellow. See how your paint is mixing too, so it gives you different colors, which is nice. So a bit of yellow here. Pull up. You can even put some flowers there, whatever you want to do. Pull up, pull up, pull up around the feet. Tap a little bit of grass here, just over what you did. Don't tap too hard, that way you won't lose what's underneath. So you work on that. Let's see what you can come up with. Come up with your own version. You know, could be rocks, could be flowers underneath here. Get your puffin done whatever way you want to do it yourself. And I'm going to go back over the dry brushing there now in a little while. But I want you to be able to just do whatever you want to do. And if you want some grass, now if you want some smaller grass area, just take your brush, pull up some grass, pull it through the green and through the yellow, and then you can pull up some little grasses here. Oh, too much water again. Gotta be careful. Learn by my mistakes. A little bit of grass here with this brush if you like. And let's see. A few around the feet area. And what you can do is take the same brush, put yellow on one side and red on the other, and just touch a little flower, a couple little flowers growing around the feet area there, maybe up here. Touch them. Look, see these really pretty flowers. Alright, and that's just touch. Just red on one side, yellow on the other, and just touch, 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 touch. Go in some white and red, and you get these kind. Touch, 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 touch. So wherever you want your flowers, you want a few on the other side. You can put red and white. Put a few little flowers growing over here just by touch, 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 touch. And then you can take your liner brush again, one you just used for the flowers and the grass. Pull through some yellow and some green. Pull up a few flowers over here, a few stems for your flowers. There we go. Good. long as you can see it. Some yellow. I just get a few grasses going up there just to show that they're part of the flowers. Pretty simple, pretty simple. Well, I can't say it's pretty simple, isn't it? It's a bit of work to it. I mean, I could do tons more work with this yet. You know, maybe I could rework some of it for you and put it on the fast forward so that you don't have to sit and get bored watching me doing these little strokes and little, because you got the basic idea. So what I could do is probably a video on how to add final details, and this is some of your final details here now. There we go. Just adding some grasses, and you can also add some of your flowers on top of those grasses. Yep, just a few little flowers, depending on what colors you want. It's up to you. It's your world. It's your world. Okay, and maybe fix up some of this here. Like I said, all these little final details helps. And I think I'm going to leave that for now. And you guys go ahead and work on it. If I have some final details I think will obviously improve it, then I may do a video, not speak at all, and just let you watch me. And that way I'll be able to concentrate and take more time and get it done a bit better for you. So have a look out for that. I'll let you know. As long as you're subscribed, then I'll be able to let you know what's going on with my paintings. So I will say, happy puffin'. Have fun. And if you got any questions, just email me, AllisonPryor@yahoo.com, if you get lost in some places. And happy painting. See you in the next video.